Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody is doing awesome. Today is a beautiful day. It's hot outside. Got a couple of ideas that are in my brain that, I've been thinking about for the past 2 days, and I want to share it with you all to see if it will help you. I've got a little experience on one part of this, so I definitely do want to share this information with you. All right. So, watch this video as many times as you need to watch it, and then just let me know if you have any questions. All right. All right. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is about a way that, we can do two things. All right. The first thing is going to be basically how you can build your checkup, your weekly check that you get with TLC. And then the second way, actually, there's three things. The second way is how you can serve the community at the same time. And then the third way is how you could possibly be one of the top 50 IBOs that gets selected or reaches the milestone of, 50 customers in 90 days or whatever the competition is for the Jamaica trip. All right, is what I'm talking about. All right, so what I want to talk to you about is basically this way right here is going to basically increase your weekly check, and then you're going to serve the community, and then you're going to be able to have some people out there working for you, and you will be able to concentrate on the other part of your business. All right, so here we go. I got a little PowerPoint, so I'm a little technical with my stuff. All right, so for those that don't know me, again, my name is Robert Royal. I'm a regional director here in Dallas, Texas. I am a teacher, so that is probably why I'm doing the PowerPoint. I like to illustrate everything I talk about so people actually see it. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to have some forms and stuff that I'm going to submit to everybody later on. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so what I have to show you is simply this. All right, I'm going to talk to you about a way to increase your check by using a method such as holding a fundraiser. All right, you're going to hold a fundraiser and you're going to use the TLC products to do that. All right, I'm going to talk to you about the TLC fundraiser steps, what to say to organizations, schools, and churches, etc., baseball teams, cheerleading teams, any organization that you can think of. I'm going to show you how this is going to be able to benefit them, and it's going to allow you to basically get some more money coming into your weekly checks without you having to do little to nothing, really. They're going to do all the work for you. All right. And then the other part we're going to do is we're going to look at the numbers. All right. I'm going to show you a couple examples of the potential or the benefit of what doing a TLC fundraiser could be for you and for the organization. All right. Then at the end, I'm going to have some TLC fundraiser forms that you can use. I'm still kind of tweaking these around a little bit, but these are just like some basic, templates or something you can use when you're talking to an organization about your fundraising. All right. So you're going to build up your weekly check by helping organizations, schools, churches, etc. First, we're going to talk about the mission. All right. The mission is simply this. We're basically going to help organizations reach their short and long-term financial goals through fundraising with total life changes by offering the opportunity to provide all natural products and a healthier lifestyle to all. All right. A couple of the products that I'm going to talk about using in your fundraiser is going to be the ISO tea, the NutriBurst, the ISO Emu oil, or the ISO Delgado coffee. All right, you can choose which products you would like to use in your fundraiser. But me, I would really only recommend using one of these products. All right, because you don't want to get to the point where when everything's turned back in, you're trying to divide. You're trying to make sure that you have the correct amount of orders for a certain product, and then as well as making sure the money equals out. Okay, so I recommend just using one of these products here. Okay, take your pick. All right. Okay, so the fundraiser, the steps are quite simple. All right. Basically, step number one, what you want to do is after you get your fundraiser package, which the forms I'm going to show you in a few minutes, you're going to basically set up a meeting with the organization that you choose, their representative for fundraiser or their financial clerk, whoever that person is. You're gonna call the school. You're gonna ask to speak to the football team's representative, which would probably be the head coach, or the school's fundraising coordinator. All right. Okay. So once you get your forms together, you're gonna meet with this person. You're gonna talk to them about the benefits of the products that we have, and then you're gonna talk about the money. All right. But it's not in like any order or anything like that. But I'm just gonna go through it and I'll explain it. All right, so you're gonna have this package. You're gonna be able to give this package to the coordinator, and then they're gonna be able to give it to their students, their players, or their members of their organization. And then they're gonna go out and start selling the products to friends and family, and they're gonna collect the money. All right. I'm working on something right now with a flyer or with order forms, and then also a cash collection envelope. All right, those are like basically the three things you need anytime you're doing fundraising. Just real quick before I continue, I'm going to give you like some examples. You know, like I said, I'm a teacher. Um, I teach like was it 6th through 8th grade? It's like a JRTC version, middle school version of JRTC is what I teach. And we, you know, last year, to give you an example, we did I believe it was 6 fundraisers that we did last year. All right, we raised over $45,000 in a 10-month time frame, using different fundraisers. We didn't use the same ones every time, you know. And just to give you an idea, each one of these fundraisers that my students that I had them do, they lasted 30 days. All right. So that gives them plenty of time to talk to friends and family about the products that they're selling and how it's going to benefit their organization. They may be able to use the money for uniforms, to go to competitions or for field trips. All right. And that's going to help the people they're talking to buy into also you're seeing the benefit of the products. You know, hey, you know, we got ISO NutriBurst, you know, it's all these different minerals inside that is good for your body, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So you're going to meet with the organization's coordinator, and then you're going to discuss the fundraiser, the products, and then that coordinator is going to designate a time period when they're going to do the fundraiser. For example, I recommend doing a 30-day fundraiser. 2 weeks is not enough time to do a fundraiser. All right. Another thing you need to think about too, if you're like, for example, going back to me, you know, being a teacher, I had 167 total students, like for all the classes I saw. I had 7 different classes, and it totaled out to 167 students. All right. So if you think about 167 students, and each student was dedicated, or they committed to selling at least 5 or whatever product it is that we were selling at the time. It could have been candy. At one point, we did shirts at one time, but they were committed to selling at least getting 5 orders from their friends and family in order to meet our financial goal for that fundraiser. All right. So at the end of the fundraiser, the organization coordinator is going to collect all of the order forms and the money from their students, their players, or their members. All right. Once they've done that, I want to stop here again. Every organization has a financial clerk or someone that's in charge of the money. Most of these organizations and schools, they have a checking account or a savings account where they keep these funds in that they use throughout the fiscal year. All right. Again, these funds are used to pay for uniforms and other things that they're trying to do with their organization. So the TLC representative is going to tally up the orders once they receive them from the coordinator, and they're going to submit a final order directly to TLC from their back office. Not their back office, excuse me, let me back up. Not from their back office, but from their replicated website as a customer using your customer account. So I'm going to say that again. TLC representative is going to tally the orders, and they're going to submit a final order directly to TLC from their replicated website using their customer account. Okay, so I'm going to say in approximately 10 business days, you, the TLC representative, will deliver the orders directly to the organization for distribution. So in other words, when you place that order, you're going to get the products that you ordered. Let's say, for example, it was 175 bottles of NutriBurst. When you place the order, you're going to have it shipped directly to your shipping address. So that way you can ensure again that you have the correct quantity that was ordered, and then you can distribute it to the organization coordinator that you're working with. All right. And I said 10 business days on here, but you always want to give less but do more. You know what I'm saying? So if you say 10 business days, we know it doesn't take that long to get products from TLC. All right. 5 to 7 days, 4 to 5 business days at tops. All right. Okay, so the organization is going to receive 50% of the total proceeds, or whatever it is that you're comfortable with. I've seen some other people, they've done this using TLC products, and they only gave the organization 25%. But I think it's fair to do 50. That gives them more money. They're going to work a little harder. All right, let me move this up a little bit. Okay, so and another thing you could talk about with the organization coordinator is like an incentive, for the person that sells the most product, they win a prize. You know, I'll give you an example, like one of the chocolate fundraisers that my students did at the beginning of the year last year. I had 3 top prizes. All right, first prize, they received a $50 gift card. Basically, it was a $50 prepaid debit card. And then they also received a free day pass. I only give free day passes out on Fridays, or on Fridays for the following Friday. So students will basically come into class and they will be able to work quietly on other things without actually having to do the lesson that we're doing that day. All right. Basically, it's just an incentive to help them stay motivated. So a lot of, when you put a little competition into place, a lot of these people that are in these organizations, they want that top spot. You have a first prize, you have a second prize, you have a third prize, or you can divide it up. You can put them where it's like a class versus class. I did that one time with one of our t-shirt fundraisers. The class that sold the most t-shirts, they got a free pizza party, and we watched movies the entire class period. All right, so that's just like some examples of some incentives that you can possibly discuss with the coordinator. But keep in mind that these incentives may vary, and they will depend on an agreement jointly made between you, the TLC representative, and the organization representative. All right. Okay, so how do I explain our fundraiser? All right, here's just a brief example. Again, you can tweak this to how you want, but this is just the opening remarks. Hi, my name is Robert Royal, and I'm a regional director with Total Life Changes. We are a health and wellness company that provides products in 9 different categories. The reason for my call or visit today is to talk with the school, organization, church, etc., fundraiser coordinator. From here, you can use the previous slide to explain the benefit and procedure for partnering up to do a fundraiser, which is the previous slide that I just showed. But this is just basically like your opening remarks that you want to talk with the fundraiser coordinator, what you want to say, in other words. All right, so numbers don't lie. Let's go ahead and look at some numbers real quick. Now, I want you to keep in mind that a lot of these organizations, they have, it varies. It depends on the type of organization. If it's just like a baseball team, we're talking like maybe 16 to 25 people. But if we're talking like, let's say you're working with a school, and this teacher has in my example, I had 167 students, but let's just say they had 100 students, right? They're going to participate in this fundraiser. Every student commits to selling at least five products minimum. All right. Again, you have that incentive in place to help them to motivate them to sell more. But in this example, we're going to say that you have 100 students or 100 members in that organization, and every person in the organization is committed to selling at least five products. All right. So then we're going to multiply 100 times 5. That's going to give you 500. So in our case, in this example, let's say we're talking about NutriBurst. All right. You got 100 people that are committed to selling 5 bottles each. That's 500 bottles right there. 500 bottles of NutriBurst. All right. I'm going to pull my calculator out real quick, and just to make sure that everything is correct on here. All right. Okay. So we got 500 bottles of NutriBurst that's sold. We all know that we get a 50% commission based on the point value of any product that we sell from our replicated website. So in other words, NutriBurst, we get $20. It has a 40-point volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 500 times 20. Total commission is going to be $10,000. All right. Now, if you're doing a 50% split with that organization, they're going to profit $5,000, and you just profited $5,000 for simply just referring them to your fundraiser that you're offering with the products in your business. All right. Again, if you're working with a baseball team, the numbers vary, or a cheerleading squad, 16 to 25, 8 to 25, but everyone commits to 5 products each in that organization. All right. So in this example, 25 times 5, that's going to give you 125 bottles that's sold from your 25 students. All right. 125 times 20 is $2,500. $2,500. Multiply that times 0.50. That's going to give that organization a profit of $1,250 for simply holding that fundraiser. All right. This is just a quick video. I'm not going to go too far into detail, but I think you're starting to get the idea. Just imagine though, if you did this fundraiser with 9 to 10 different organizations. All right. I'm pretty sure where we all live, like for example, me, I'm within about 30 miles where I live. There's about 4 different school districts here. These are just school districts. That's not counting churches. That's not counting city soccer teams, city baseball teams, volleyball, any of those things. All right. But I got all those different school districts. I got churches. I got even, you can probably even do it with a business. You can put a fundraiser up right there, talk with the owner of the business that you're going to, and they can do a fundraiser right there, and you can do the exact same thing. All right. So let's go to the next one. Numbers don't lie. Just remember that. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, this right here, again, I'm still working on this, but this is just like a brief. I'm going to put this in the file section of our Facebook group, but this is just like a little flyer that you can have ready and on hand when you're meeting with the coordinator of a school or a church or any community organizations. All right, it basically says that they're going to earn $10 per bottle sold. Again, that $10 comes from the 50% commission that you get of $20. So they're going to get 10. They get 10, you get 10. All right, so they're doing all the work for you. It also gives like a little brief description. It's all natural liquid vitamin, and it's ongoing profit planning, and the earnings are unlimited because again, you can do this like, and again, going back to my example, as a teacher, I did 6 fundraisers last year. All right, we raised a lot of money, and we were able to use that money to help us do a lot of different things that we had planned for the year. All right. And then, they can come back to us at a later point in time and do another fundraiser with a different product. All right. It's very easy to do this. All right. Again, this is another flyer that you can have that you can give to the organization's coordinator when you're talking with them so they can actually see the numbers themselves. Okay. Make sure you all can see it. So I'm going to move this around so you can see. All right. You want to put them in the picture of the potential net profit they can make from using your fundraiser with the TLC products. All right. Imagine if you had 250 participants from one organization and everybody was committed to selling 5 bottles of NutriBurst. All right. That's 1,250 bottles of NutriBurst. Again, I'm gonna pull the math or the calculator out for you. 1,250 times 20. That's a commission of $25,000 total that you would get in your weekly check, and then you're doing a 50% split with them. Multiply it times 0.50. Let me do that one more time. I messed up. Sorry. 1,250 times 20. It's going to give you, 25,000. 25,000. Then you're doing a 50% split. That's going to be 12,500 in your pocket. 12,500 in that organization's pocket. Think about that for a minute. This right here is like a basically a sign-up form. Anyone that's under the age of 18, they have to get parental consent in order to do this. All right, and then I've looked at this thing over and over. I remember every fundraiser I did, we had to get these permission slips issued out to the students so they can take them home, get it filled out, and their parents have to sign for it. If their parents don't sign for it, they can't do the fundraiser. All right, because they're responsible. I mean, depending on if you're going to front them the products or they're responsible for collecting the money. So the parents have to know what their students or the kids are doing. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what I'm going to show you on that part. Now, real quick, I'm going to go over how to receive the funds from an organization. This step right here can be completed in different ways based on your preference. And then also what you agree on with your organization's coordinator. All right. Here's an example. Most organizations have a checking and savings account they use to manage your funds. In my case, I was a representative for my organization. However, we had a financial clerk that was authorized to use our account to place orders for things that I had approved or I wanted to do. All right. So I recommend cash payments from customers that will be turned into the organization's representative. This right here is going to alleviate credit cards not going through and credit card information being passed and all that. the customer places an order, they get an order receipt, the student or member of that organization gets the cash, and then at the end of that 30-day fundraiser, the students turn in their money. They turn in the money they collected during that time, and they're going to give it to the representative. All right, the representative is going to deposit that cash into their account, and then once they get approval, they're going to write a certified check to be cashed into your account that will be used to place the order from. So in other words, once they get the money from their members in the organization, they're going to put it in their account, and then they're either going to write you a check or they're going to give you cash, and you put it in your checking account. You give them a receipt. All right, this stuff is very crucial to ensuring the correct amount of product is ordered and the funds are available to do so. All right, so immediately after receiving the cash, deposit it into the account that you're going to use to place the order from. All right, once you get all the order forms and the money has been collected, cash the check from the organization into your business checking account immediately. Again, I say that immediately. All right, order the products from your replicated website as a customer to ensure you get the commission, and you're going to ship this to your shipping address. Okay. Once the products have arrived, deliver the products to the organization's representative for delivery to the buyers. All right. Again, you're going to have an order form, a tally of how many products you ordered, and then you can also give them a copy of the receipt that you placed the order with when you deliver the products to them. All right. You're going to inform the organization's representative of the date of their incoming funds from the fundraiser. So we know that once whatever we do this week, we're not going to get paid on it until the week after next. Okay. Every other week. So you need to let the representative know when they can expect their funds from the fundraiser. And then once you get those funds, you need to pay the organization immediately. All right. So that way there's no confusion and no one is accusing you of stealing money or anything like that. Okay. Have everything set out in stone. Now imagine you do this 9 to 10 times, or you do this several times throughout the year with 9 to 10 different organizations. Plus, you're also working on your business while the students and the members of this organization are out pushing these products for you. You're actually focusing on either recruiting or also sharing the products with other people that you run into contact with. All right. So really, you're going to make more than what we've seen on this chart that I had up here. Okay. But again, this is just some information I want to share with everybody. This is a way that you can increase your weekly check. And then also by getting the products in front of people that you would never have met or come in contact with. All right. So in summary, I talked about the TLC fundraiser mission, the TLC fundraiser steps that you're going to use, what to say to organizations, schools, churches, etc. And then we took a look at the numbers of the potential of the money that could be made using this fundraiser process. And then also we have some TLC fundraiser forms. All right, if there's any questions, please leave them in the comments or inbox me, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. All right, everybody have a great day.